everyone again. Happy to see you all here. And today is our first webinar event in connection with a program related to Finnish ecosystem and innovative startups in partnership with Business Finland, Sisu Factory, and Business Helsinki. So you know that today, that this year again in November, we will have the Slush conference, which is one of the biggest events in the region, one of the biggest conferences in the region. And in connection with this conference, Government of Finland, Business Finland, and the Sisu Factory is organizing the pre-accelerator and supporting Turkish startups and supporting Turkish ecosystem to make preparation and prepare startups in terms of the expansion for the Finnish market. So my name is Savita Babaeva. I'm a head of Istanbul Hub at Tenity. And just a few words about today's agenda. So what we are aiming to do and what we will be talking about today. So right after me, I will give stage to Hanna. Hanna is a senior advisor at Business Finland, and mostly she will be talking about the startup ecosystem in Finland. After that, Johan will be with us. And he will be talking about the Sisu Launchpad and what are the benefits of the Sisu Launchpad and the programs that the Sisu Launchpad is proposing to the Turkish startups in the framework of this program. So after that, Johan will be moderating the fireside chat together with Burak from Benerg, the startup that participated last year in the same kind of program. So we're happy that Burak will be sharing his pitfalls, his success, and all the journey that he had for the previous last year on this not easy path, let's say. So we will conclude our session with the Q&A session, because I know that a lot of people are asking questions regarding this program. So the whole team from Business Helsinki, from Business Finland, from Tenity will be with you guys. And please feel free to share your questions through chat or Q&A. You can right now type test messages if you want. For us, that's just to check if the Q&A and the chat boxes function is working properly. So I will be happy if somebody will just text something for us to test it. So before starting and giving the stage to Hanna, I will be happy to say just a few words about Tenity, who we are. So in the Turkish market, we are since 2015 and working closely with thousands of startups here in this ecosystem. Since last year, we are the part of Tenity, global team of Tenity, and right now we are the one hub of the 6 major hub structure. So Tenity is an early stage fintech fund, mostly investing in the fintech startups. But at the same time, there is big work that's being done in terms of corporate innovation all over the world. So one of the biggest hubs are the head office is based in Zurich. We have office in Singapore, Istanbul, you already know. So Tallinn, London, Madrid is also one of the most active hubs on our side. So far, there is the programs that we are doing and the activities that we are providing. So they are proceeding and continuing in more than 15 countries. And so many startups that already have been invested on our side. And of course, this work is being proceeded again and again. So we are happy to work with early stage startups, but at the same time, in the framework of our corporate innovation programs, we are working with the more growing startups, so the startups who are ready to work with the corporate partners as well. So this is not our first year that we are working with you can go for the next slide as well, thank you. So this is not our first year that we're working with Business Finland. We're happy to support Business Finland for the previous years as well. And this year we're happy because like right now we are a kind of official partner and partnering and collaborating together with Business Finland and Business Helsinki for this program in connection with Slush. Of course, everybody knows Slush, and I'm sure that my colleagues will be talking more in details about this program. But at the same time, it's not only the conference, it's a huge market access. If we're talking about the Finland market, if we're talking the Nordics market. So to get more information about the benefit, to get more information about the business network, about the startup network in the framework of this program. So this is the main goal of today's webinar. At the same time, we are planning to have the physical event in Istanbul on 26th of September. And it will be in Hans Spaces in Levant. And we are happy to invite all of you to our physical community event as well. To come join us, guys, and ask a question directly from the, get information directly from the team. So right now, I would be happy to invite Hanna on stage. Hanna?
Thank you very much, Sabina.
Stage is yours. Okay, please, welcome.
Thank you, Sabina. Just a minute, I will share my presentation. Hopefully you are able to see it now.
Yes, we can see it perfectly.
Great.
So stage is yours.
Thank you very much, and very happy to be here today. My name is Hanna Riski. I'm working for Business Finland in the headquarters of our organization here in Helsinki. Greetings from a bit rainy this morning, but still really warm Helsinki. We have had over 20 degrees still in September, which is actually pretty rare. So the summer is still continuing here. I will present in my presentation shortly background information about Finland, about the Finnish startup ecosystem. Then I'm going to explain my host organization, Business Finland, in more detail and what is our role in the startup ecosystem. And at the end, I will also explain you the startup permit, which is something that Finland is offering for innovative startup founders. Let's start about just basic facts about Finland. We are located up here in the northern part of Europe. We have 5.5 million population here in the country. The capital is Helsinki. Neighboring countries, we have Sweden, Norway, Russia, and Estonia. We have been independent for over 100 years. You see here our credit rankings. We have a multi-party democracy. We have been member of the European Union since 1995. Currency is euro. Corporate tax is 20%. And the business languages that we use here is Finnish, English, and Swedish. And especially, I would say that in the startup ecosystem of Finland, English is really widely used. Well, Finland can be said that it's #1 in various aspects, which also give good groundwork for why it would be a good place to establish a business here in Finland. Finland is #1 in sustainable development, first in business environment, first best governance. It's the most stable country. It's the #1 for skills development and work, and also among the top 10 most innovative countries in the world. So these factors make it a really good place for you to establish a company in the country. Finland as a place for business and work. First of all, Finland is really trustworthy. It's stable, it's safe, it's equitable, high functioning welfare state. And our educational system is one of the best ones in the world. And our education and school system give also really good groundwork for the R&D and innovation development here in the country. We have a really nice work-life balance. You can have a thriving career, but you can also enjoy a family life and a thriving personal life here. Finnish, we have a lot of innovation, strong technological expertise, and that is fostered by really close collaboration between companies, universities, and research institutions. And this is also something that Business Finland, my host organization, is providing funding to, which I'm going to explain later. And Finland is also one of the forerunners in sustainable development. We have a unique nature. You can access it pretty much anywhere here in the country. And it's also something that we want to protect. And this has, in a way, made Finland a global expert in climate challenges and solutions. What are then kind of the building blocks of our startup ecosystem here in Finland? First of all, there is both private and public funding available. Business Finland is providing different kind of funding instruments for startups. Finnvera, which is kind of the state bank here, is providing loans and guarantees for international trade. We have Finnish Venture Capital Association, and FIBAN, which is Finnish Business Angels Network, with 700 members, is actually one of the biggest networks in Europe, gathering angel investors together. We have very many known startup events. Slush, already mentioned, happening every year here in November during the darkest time of the year, bringing together globally startup founders, the media, and investors. If you want to visit Finland during the summertime, we have Arctic 15, Junction, one of the biggest hackathons here, and something really unique, which was actually relaunched in February this year, is happening in Oulu, the polar bear pitching. It's an event where startup founders can pitch to investors while they are swimming in an ice hole. And as long as you can stay in the ice hole, you can continue pitching. So that's something really unique happening during the darkest time of the winter up north here in Finland. And it's gathering quite nice international media attention as well. We have a lot of communities, co-working spaces here in the country. Maria 01 here in Helsinki. It's an old hospital area and already the biggest startup community in the Nordics, and it's actually gonna double its size in the coming years. We have there in Maria 01 the shortcut, but then we have different kind of communities and co-working spaces in different cities. Turku, we have Spark Up. In Espoo, we have Acrid, and so on. And Finnish cities are doing a lot to support international startup founders here in the country. We're gonna hear more from the capital region today, from Sisu Factory today, about their services and about this pre-accelerator program. But the cities are truly doing a lot. They are offering free of charge soft landing services, helping you to establish a company, helping you to find funding, helping your spouse to find a job, and so on. So we have Business Turku, Business Tampere, Business Helsinki, and so on. So help is available in all the biggest cities here in the country. And of course, we have different kind of accelerators and incubators. We have Kiuas, which has been chosen as the best accelerator in the Nordics. There is no specific requirement for a specific sector there. We have Red Brick in Tampere, but we also have sector-specific accelerators and incubators. We have Terkko Health Hub, health tech-related solution. We have Esabic for space-related solutions, and so on. And of course, the universities are also doing a lot, and they have strong startup communities as well, such as the Aalto University Startup Center. In this slide, you can see the key startup industry sectors we have here in Finland. So you're able to find good talents, a ready-made ecosystem here from these sectors. We have quantum computing, health and health tech, that's really strong in Finland, energy sector, food tech, immersive gaming, probably you have heard of the Finnish gaming industry, AI and data analytics, defense and dual use, and new materials. So in case you have a business idea related to some of these industry sectors, Finland might be a place for you to visit and explore more. Finland is also home to many unicorns. I already mentioned gaming. We have Supercell, we have Small Giant, we have Robio, we have B2B SaaS companies such as Aven, and health tech, which I already mentioned as well. Oura, perhaps you have heard of the ring, which you can use, which is monitoring your health and your sleep. We have a logistics company called Relex, mobile tech, we have fintech and food tech, and new ones emerging from various verticals. So there's IQM from deep tech side, ICE as a space tech company, and so on. Finland's VC landscape has also been evolving in the recent years. We have been able to attract also international investors to the country, such as Nordic Ninja. I'm not going to go through all of these VCs one by one, but as you can see from the picture, we have VCs starting from the seed phase, early stage, Series R, and Series B. And here we have also mentioned the FIBAN, the Finnish Business Angels Network. I'm sorry. And what is the secret behind the startup ecosystem here in the Finland? I already mentioned the education system, which is pretty well known worldwide. And it gives really good ground for the research, for the R&D development, innovation development in the country. There is also social and government support available, different kind of governmental incentives that we have for startups in the country. But it's also about the mindset and the attitude. It's always usually said that Finland is not a country, it's a country club. We are a pretty small country, and in the startup ecosystem, everybody pretty much knows everybody. It's easy to approach people. We have really low hierarchy, and it's even possible to approach the CEOs of bigger companies here in Finland. Everybody is able and interested to help each other to go forward. I already mentioned that the cities are doing a lot to help the international startups. Here we have mentioned the capital region, including Helsinki. We're going to hear more about their services today. We have Tampere, Turku, and Oulu as well. And these cities are also providing different kind of test bedding opportunities in Helsinki, Tampere, and Turku, with the focus areas of EdTech, built environment, health and well-being, smart mobility, and circular economy. But we're going to hear more of the services provided by the capital region still in this webinar. Then in more detail about my host organization, which is Business Finland. Business Finland is a governmental organization. We are working under the Ministry of Employment and the Economy, and our aim is to help Finnish companies grow and go international. We provide funding. I would say that our funding instruments are the most known services that we provide for startups. We provide funding for research, development, and innovation. I'm going to go through our funding instruments in more detail. We also support the export and internationalization of Finnish companies. We want Finnish companies to grow, we want them to go international, and we truly have a global organization supporting that. We create networks and ecosystems. So basically we want to bring bigger companies, startups, research institutions together to function as ecosystems, and we are providing funding for that collaboration. But in addition to the fact that we are helping Finnish companies grow, we also have attraction activities. We have Invest in Unit, where we try to attract investments to Finland. We have Visit Finland, where we promote tourism to Finland. And my own host team in the organization is Work in Finland. Finland is lacking talents. Our population is actually decreasing, so we also have a task to attract international talents and also international startup founders to Finland. I mentioned that Business Finland is truly a global organization, and this is something that you can see from this picture. We have 760 experts. We have 16 offices here in Finland and 37 global offices, which you can see from this map. So we have offices here in Europe, North America, Latin America, Africa, Middle East, APAC area, China, Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. So basically, in these locations, we have Business Finland colleagues helping Finnish companies grow and go international, providing, advice, access to markets, local contacts, local market information, and so on. So truly a global organization. But I would say that funding is the most known thing that Business Finland is providing. So basically, our funding is for companies that are registered here in Finland and who do have an innovative and scalable business idea. Our funding is always project-based. So basically, you have a project. It might be related to research, product development, business development. You want to explore new markets or test, is there interest in the market towards your business idea? You have a project, you have specific targets, you have a specific timeline, you have a specific budget, and then you apply for Business Finland for that, Business Finland funding for that project. Our funding, it's grants and loans. Typically, it's 50 to 70% of the project budget, so it's never 100% project funding from our side. Our client always needs to have some funding of their own. So it's always co-funded. It's non-dilutive, no equity stake. So we are not taking any equity of the company that we are providing funding to. And it has been actually investigated that innovation funding that Business Finland is providing is especially important for the startups in the early stages of their growth path, to get them going in their growth path. In this slide, I have gathered a couple of examples of our funding services for young growth companies who are under 5 years old. So tempo funding is usually something that our clients apply first from us. You can use tempo funding to enter new expert markets, explore the demand, and so on. It's a grant of 75%, and the maximum amount of funding from Business Finland side is 60,000 euros. Then you can continue to R&D development. You can develop a service, a product, process, or a business model. Usually it's a loan, especially if you're already pretty close to the market. The loan can be from 50 to 70%. But if you're doing really new research, it can also be a grant. And then for the best scale-up companies, we have the Young Innovative Company funding, where you have the possibility to develop your business really comprehensively and grow on a really global scale. And there we are talking about a grant which can be actually 1 million euros already. And it's given to the company in 3 phases. So if you pass the phase 1, you go to phase 2 and so on. And again, it's about 75% of the project costs that Business Finland is providing for funding to. Well, here is a picture that I want to show that it has been shown that if a client or a Finnish company receives Business Finland funding, they usually are more easy for them to attract VC investments as well. The VCs are looking at, okay, Business Finland is kind of sharing the risk with us. They have already evaluated the business idea and the team and the competitive advantage. And it might be worth the while for us also to invest in this company. So Business Finland funding has been helping our startup clients to attract VC funding as well. And as the last part of my presentation, I want to tell you about the startup permit, which is something that Finland launched about 6 years ago. So it's a residence permit for innovative entrepreneurs who want to come to Finland and establish a startup company here in Finland. Why I'm telling about this is the fact that Business Finland, we have a role in the process. So before the startup founder and the team can apply for the actual residence permit from our Finnish immigration service, Migri, they need to apply for a statement from Business Finland. So our advisors evaluate the business idea, the team, the resources, and the competitive advantage. And if the team receives a positive statement from us, then they can continue by applying the actual residence permit from Migri. The residence permit is for a maximum of 2 years. There's a possibility to apply for an extension, and your spouse and children can apply as family members. And here is a slide that actually goes to both that what are we looking for when we are talking about Business Finland clients, but what are we looking for when we are also talking about the startup permit, because we are using basically the same criteria for both our funding customers, but also the startup permit customers. So basically ambitious startup teams who are truly looking for international growth, headquarters, IPRs, and the central team need to be here in Finland. There needs to be a dedicated team. MVP prototype with feedback from the market is always a good thing. The team needs to have a competitive advantage. You need to be doing something differently than the competitors. Sufficient resources and a true passion for growth. But here was my presentation. Thank you. Of course, I will stay here at the webinar until the end. You have the possibility to ask questions both in the chat and at the end in the Q&A session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hannah, for a great presentation and giving us the perspective and insightful introduction to Finland's startup ecosystem. So thanks for all the information. And guys, please feel free to write all your questions in the chat, which Hannah will be here to answer them in the Q&A session as well. Hello again, this is Sangit from Tenity team. I'm program director. I will be moderating from now on. And right now, we'll move to next session. Let me share my screen first. Yes. So we will move to Sisu Launchpad, where Johan Fogel from Business Helsinki, business advisor of Business Helsinki, will be sharing with us about the Sisu Launchpad, how they support startups, looking forward to break into the Finnish market. So I will give the microphone to Johan. Hello, Johan, welcome. Please feel free to share your screen if you have a presentation, and the stage is yours.
Yes, thank you very much, Esengül, and thank you very much to all the participants being here, giving us your focus. It's a pleasure to be here, having the opportunity to talk to you guys and introducing the ecosystem. Thank you very much, Hannah, for doing a great job on that behalf. And now it will be my pleasure to tell you a little bit more about our Launchpad, the specific accelerator we are running twice a year. So while I'll try to share my screen, a few words to myself. My name is Jochen. I work with Katarina, my colleague, who is also here in the room with me. We work for Business Helsinki, and more precisely for the soft landing team. And what we are doing is we are helping people like yourself, international startup founders, growth entrepreneurs, who are interested in relocating to the Finnish market or to relocating to Finland. And we are helping you in that regard with that process. Hannah already mentioned if you are an EU citizen, then you have to apply for a startup permit. we can help you in that regard. If you get that permit, we will help you with the relocation. We help you to settle in and find the right, support system for you, making the first important introductions, helping you to set up the company. And then we have a pretty good support system within our Business Helsinki services that then further help you to develop your product and your company based on the Finnish criteria. They will help you also with the public funding and when you are ready to look for private investors. So we have a very good system to help you from the very beginning up to the point where you are ready to expand globally. One colleague, Burak, is here with us. A quick show here. We'll have the interview in about 15 minutes. But for now, please let me tell you a little bit more about our Sisu Launchpad. Now, Hanna already pointed out very few or very good points and reasons why Finland is a good country and in so many perspectives the number one or leading country. So there are certainly a lot of reasons why you should and could consider moving to Finland. Now, I myself, I'm from Austria. I moved here 17 years ago. And I know that moving to a country is a huge decision. It's basically, it's one of the biggest you might do in your life. It's a life-changing decision. And at the end of the day, it's not so much about the number one aspects a country can offer, but it's up to you to decide, is it the best country for you? Is it the best choice you can take to move to this country? And the very reason why we have our Sisu Launchpad is for that purpose. What we try to do is we try to give you an opportunity to get to know our ecosystem in a very efficient way so that you are capable of saying after 1 week of experiencing our ecosystem, is Finland the right place for us to move? Of course, from a business related perspective, but you also will have the opportunity to look at it from a private or family related perspective so that you can make that decision. And of course, that's something very important with us. We don't try to sell Finland to you, but rather we try to give you the opportunity to experience it for yourself. Now, particularly, we are talking now about the Sisu Launchpad, which is our Finland accelerator for international startups, which will now be in November. We are talking 18th of November until the 21st of November. It's correlating with Slush, which is one of the biggest business conferences in Europe. And the purpose is to, again, just show you how you can really make most out of our ecosystem, experiencing our ecosystem, and trying to make already the first vital connections that would be relevant for your business. We start, or the deadline for the application is 29th of September, so it's still plenty of time to consider. And the question of course, is what can you expect during this 1 week? So first of all, as I already said, we truly believe it's the best way to experience our ecosystem in a very efficient, very honest and open way. Here is a few pictures from our last one we had next to Arctic 15, which is the business conference in May. So at least weather-wise, it's a bit more friendly, but it's a smaller event. But nonetheless, we had a really good week where we had 12 startups participating. Many of them actually from Turkey. I think 10 of them came from Turkey. And here you just have a few pictures. You can see the event itself, but we also start with, we have some cultural aspects like sauna, which we are then combining with pitching. We make sure that you're meeting investors, and particularly we also make sure that you're meeting the right people you want to talk to. But if we go a bit more concretely into detail, what is it you can expect from this accelerator? Well, first of all, we start with 3 online sessions. They will already happen in October. just today, actually, with Katerina and the team, we set the topics for this session. So on the one side, we want to give you the opportunity to really learn how to pitch in the Finnish business environment. I think that's very important because pitching itself, it's a vital part no matter where or in which country you are an entrepreneur. But every country or every culture might have different aspects to it. So we just try to show you how to do it the best way here in Finland. The second online session we will have is a masterclass. On 1 hour, we will focus on the business culture here in Finland, and the second hour will be then on with an investor focus on really trying to understand what are local investors looking for and how would they pick the right startups to go with. And then the third session is very important. That's how actually do you make most out of Slush, out of this business event we will take you to. But I always say, you know, if you want to waste 2 days of your life, then just go to a business conference and don't prepare for it, and particularly with Slush, which is huge. So we just give you the right tips and advice and strategies on how to really prepare for this huge event, which has, like, I think 15 to 20,000 participants. So those are the online sessions. So we really try to get to know each other as participants of the Sisu Launchpad accelerator, but also sharing first vital information about the ecosystem and how to prepare for your visit here. Then we have the week itself, the week in Helsinki, from 18th of November till 22nd of November. And the first 2 days we will organize a tight but very efficient and very promising program for you, where you get insights into the Finnish startup ecosystem. We'll meet our participants in advance, trying to understand who are the ecosystem players you would like to meet. And then we try to facilitate those meetings for you, so you have exclusive meetings. You also have exclusive networking events, which just come, of course, with the Slush ticket. But there, if you are already familiar with Slush, given that it's such a big event, there are also tons of side events. So based on your industries, based on your interests, we can support you in finding the right side events. So really, again, making sure that you make most of this business conference. We'll have one-on-one mentoring with our team. So we will really try to understand what are your goals, what are you looking for, how can we support you best during this week, but also if you should decide to move to Finland, planning for the future, how can we work best together with you. We'll have the sauna pitching. That's a concept we started about a year ago, which proved very fruitful and positive, where we just go to sauna and everybody is equal. Everybody will get a chance to pitch. Everybody else will listen. So it just showed that it's a very nice experience to promote your business and receive feedback from professional coaches who will be with us. Very important, if somebody should say, I feel uncomfortable in that scenario, then there are plenty of opportunities how you can do that also outside the sauna. We will have an investor meetup, where you will have the opportunity to pitch your business to qualified investors we are inviting and selecting beforehand. And more importantly, maybe even for that platform we are providing, is that you will get a lot of insight from the investors themselves. So regarding the current trends, what they are looking for, how should you reach out to them? And you have plenty of networking time with the investors, so really meeting them, discussing, introducing one-to-one your business and listen to what they have to say to you. What we will also provide is visits to the key ecosystem players. Hanna already mentioned Maria01. So which is currently the biggest startup hub in the Nordics. I think the plan is to soon be the biggest hub in Europe. So considering what that would mean for your startup if you are in the same city in terms of attracting investors and collaboration opportunities. So I think huge opportunities there. So we are visiting Maria01 in Helsinki, but then equally also ecosystem players in Espoo and in Vantaa. So Again, the purpose just giving you the opportunity to get to know our ecosystem the best possible way so that you can answer for yourself, is this the right place for you to relocate? We'll have the facilitated meetings, which I already mentioned at the beginning, and very important, there will be a free ticket to Slush for you. So we will make sure that you can access that event. Now, some of you might rightfully say, ticket itself, considering you would of course have to cover the costs of coming here and paying for the hotel. Ticket itself doesn't really fall that much into account, but if you are now deciding to visit Slush, you won't get a ticket anymore. And of course, there is then all the added value of the whole week program we are providing for you. If you shouldn't be familiar with Slush, I think this picture kind of tells it all, right? Every year we have around, I think, 15 to 20,000 participants. Very interesting, a lot of action, very good side events. So certainly an event you shouldn't miss out. Just a few feedback numbers based on the previous events we had. So the overall experience has been 4.75. Everybody who has been participating at our accelerator program has been more than happy to recommend it to other people. And typically 60, 70 to 80% of our participants, after experiencing that week, are then really willing and motivated to relocate here to Finland. But numbers, I'm usually not that big of a friend of quantitative feedback. I prefer the qualitative ones, so really listening to what people have to say. Here you have a few experiences people shared with us. I think this just summarizes nicely what we are doing and why we are doing it, and why we are time and time again happy and motivated to organize this week, which is not always easy and quite intensive, but I think the return on investment in terms of appreciation and success, I think, is plenty of reward for us. Who is it for? Very important question. So first of all, or basically here we kind of also align with the requirements Business Finland has when they would evaluate your application for a startup permit. And I think Hanna already mentioned those points, but basically when we are reviewing the applicants for our program, we kindly would ask you to have at least 2 co-founders who are experienced enough related to the business idea you have, but also have an understanding of running and building a company and just having some basic business skills as well. Of course, you should consider Finland as the next location. You don't have to be at the point to say, yes, I absolutely want to Finland, but of course there should be some idea towards that. Otherwise, it doesn't really make much sense to participate. Generally, we just want you to be excited to explore the Finnish ecosystem, maybe doing already some pre-studies before and trying to understand why you want to come. So what's the motivation of moving to Finland? And you should be ready to, of course, build meaningful connections with investors, mentors, and peers. That, of course, also means that you already have kind of an understanding of who you would want to meet when you are visiting us. Also very important to understand, I truly hope this is important and relevant for many of you, and many of you will take this opportunity to apply. We will choose 20 startups. That's pretty much kind of the space we have for this program at this point. But all the other ones who are applying, please be assured that even if you're not taken this year, or it shouldn't work this year, we will reach out to you individually, to all of you, and we would be very happy to have follow-up meetings with you, because even if you're not accepted to this 1-week accelerator program, we still would be very happy to listen to your business ideas. And if we find that there is really a chance for you to relocate based on the business you have, then we are very happy to support you along the way and further helping you to come here and be successful here in our ecosystem. And talking about these things, so what can we actually, our Business Helsinki soft landing team, how can we support you? Well, first of all, what we do is we always try to understand your business. We try to understand the value for this ecosystem or the Finnish ecosystem. We help you draft the application, making sure that it's at a good place before you're sending it for the review to Business Finland. We have a bunch of business advisors and mentors here with us who can then help you further to develop your business. They can help you to apply for public funding. They can help you navigating the ecosystem of the investors and trying to understand who to reach out and what material you should have when you reach out to them. When you get the startup permit, we are here to help you with the first steps of the relocation, settling in, opening the company, kind of all the small steps you should consider, which are usually a pain in the ass, but that's why we are here and trying to support you in that regard. And then, of course, very important, we are here to help you to build your network, right? To making the first connections, finding the right investors, helping you with funding, and everything you need in order to really succeed if you decide and if you give us the trust and decide to move here with your business, and not only with your business, but very often also with your family. So those were a few words from my side. Obviously, we are still here for the Q&A session, so I'm looking forward to all the questions you might have. As just a quick picture of our team. Important also here to say is that our soft landing service is actually a collaboration between the 3 cities in our capital region, so between Helsinki, Espoo, and Vantaa. And what that means is that for us, it is important that you that when you are coming here, that you find the right city for you. So it's not so much important for me to keep you in Helsinki because I'm working for Helsinki, but more like making sure that you find the right place where you get the best support system based on the business idea you have. And as we are working together with the cities, it just makes it so much easier. So also from that perspective, you can be assured that you will find the right place if you decide to come here. So far, thank you very much. And I will hand over to our host.
Thank you, Johan, for a great presentation and your insights and introduction to Sisu Launchpad. So we're not done yet. We have another session right now, which we are focusing on the success story. Again, we will be hosting Johan to moderate this session with Burak. Burak is CEO at Benark. So Johan and Burak will showcase what's possible with the right support and guidance in Finland. So I will now leave you the stage to you, Johan and Burak. Please feel free to go on.
Yes, thank you very much. Burak.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. I have to say, I asked Burak, well, he came the first to my mind as a success story and immediately said yes. So thank you very much. I know you're very busy. We just chatted before a little bit. I think business is going or developing well. So you have plenty of things to do. So even more appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. And flattered to be here and finding an opportunity to contribute to the guys and the institutions that help us too much to establish a company and discover more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I have a few questions prepared for the short interview. But first, would you just like to tell a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, what your company is all about?
My name is Burak. I am the CEO and the co-founder of Benark. Benark is a biogas company which is develop a building scale biogas machine to produce electricity from food waste. We are working on the installations and the taking safety related certifications and at the moment Finland. With the taking lots of helps both from the Finland and outside the Finland, and we are now approaching to the internationalization and the finding abroad customers by taking lots of support at the moment.
Yeah, wonderful. So the first question, very interesting for me and probably to most of our listeners. Why did you decide for Finland?
Actually, yeah, it could be funny for you because I personally didn't choose to relocate Finland as a person because my wife took an offer from Aalto University to complete her PhD degree in applied physics department. At first, I took a residence permit on the family basis, family ties, but we were not sure about that. Is it possible to establish a company in Finland, and is there any market for our business or not? Actually, by discover the Slush event is very important. Maybe we jumping in another story because Hanna mentioned and you mentioned our story began in Slush by attending there and approaching all the ecosystem stakeholders and asking questions by introducing ourselves and the humble idea and the concept and the proof of concept and MVP, what we have done so far. They approach us very openly and honestly and guide us to, okay, you can do it here. Like do this, and do this. That's how we started actually.
All right.
It become a reality to relocate our business from Turkey to Finland.
To Finland, yeah. Can I ask what were, let's say, the key points that said, okay, I'm willing to trust in the Finnish ecosystem. I can see value as a startup in the Finnish ecosystem.
Yeah, we experience this not just the business case in the every moment of life. And I heard that I want to quote something that which is very remarkable for me. I attended one of the pre-event in Slush in the XR event, launching the metaverse strategy document for the first country in the world. And the guy, the promoting the strategy document said that if Finnish people say something to you with confidence, it is true. If they don't know, they are not telling, or they are saying that I don't know it. This is something that like a paradigm shift kind of issue, because when you hear something, you are getting used to okay, it is true. It is going to happen 23 days, not 19, not 25. It helps you to make a plan and do accordingly to complete the tasks, and maybe the most important thing and the difference actually.
Yeah, and it's a really good point, and we heard that from many clients of ours that things are just happening in Finland as they are set to happen. And obviously, I can imagine that makes the life of an entrepreneur quite a bit easier if you can really trust that things are happening according to plan.
Yeah,
or you can plan accordingly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. For example, when we joined the Slush event, we asked them what we need to do to like enter the Finnish startup ecosystem and establishing company. The first thing they said, you need to have a business plan and calculations and etc. It's a normal procedure, and I learned that all the cities that Johan mentioned, giving a free service to evaluate for the preparation and the guidance for the financials and the business plan. And imagine that government is paying officials and departments to help you to navigate your focus into the right points, whether this is applicable for this market or not, or finding customers, pain points, problems, and the solution aspects. It is and for example, every time we stuck with something, we ask the right questions. Actually, we learn to ask the right questions, be specifics to the officials. Then Finnish people Finns are trying to help you, which is a good thing, and we are happy for that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Boy. Actually, you pointed out a very good thing, which I didn't mention, that all our services are for free indeed. Of course, we have an alternative motive. My colleague Lauri always puts it nicely. He says we have the best business model. We can tax people. So our motivation is very simple. If we are bringing good qualified people, like Burak, with a good business idea here in Finland, we can presume that these businesses are growing. You will hire people, you will prosper. So in return, it's of course beneficial for the city and for the government. Yeah. But thank you very much for pointing that out. Could you maybe tell a few things like talking or staying with the support service? What really helped you to get the startup permit and then further on to kind of develop and grow your business?
First, with the help of the Business Espoo and the Business Helsinki advisors, we prepared a comprehensive business plan containing lots of calculations and the market size and etc. For example, we took a couple of times to the feedback that you need to clarify here, you need to clarify, you need to open here, and etc. In order to create a successful business or repeatable business, or at least start a business, you need to have a solid understanding what is going to happen in terms of your business aspects. So in order to do that, we sent them, they sent us feedback, and we know that we need to clarify those issues. So we try to, we did whatever it takes to clarify those issues, then send it back, take it back. After 2 or 3 times, advisors say that you are ready to send to Business Finland, and we sent to Business Finland. Business Finland give a small feedback about some minor change and etc. We clarified those, and my 2 co-founders took their residence permit within 15 days after completing Business Finland positive eligibility statement. They applied the entrepreneur visa, and it took 15 days. To be honest, this is very remarkable for me because first I took it on the family basis. It came up to 6 months, which is very, very fast.
Yeah. Oh, how is it now? Do you have now somebody you're working with from city side?
Yeah, definitely. We are working very closely with the Business Helsinki accelerator and the advisory team at the moment, because in the Finnish ecosystem, there is something like you should be aware of before jumping into and trying to do the new ecosystem. Finnish people, not a big country in terms of population as Turkey. That is why there is a very well interconnected 3 cities in the Helsinki metropolitan region, creating a small community. I am referring small, actually it's not, but when you compare to the Turkey, it is very small. And knowing right people and asking the right questions, helping you to reach out to the right investors, and the most importantly, the clients. And those clients are open to your business proposals and the solutions, because Finland has ambitious targets for the carbon neutrality, for example, sustainability, deep tech businesses, gaming industry. They have a lot of huge companies. And for example, even the Supercell is doing and creating ecosystem, which is remarkable for the gaming industry too. In order to jump into this, definitely we are asking the right question. For example, the first idea, the first thing that popped in my mind, we struggled to find the right market in terms of the calculation of serviceable, obtainable market in Finland. We asked because we didn't know the Finnish, and we learned that you don't need to worry about the language barrier too. We asked the business advisors in Helsinki, and they sent us really simplified version of it as a Finnish article. And good thing is that all the information accessible from the public, which is a very the change maker issue. You can't find anywhere, and in Turkey, I know that I'm from Turkey too. You can find such a kind of like a detailed the information on public. You can reach here, then you can differentiate and narrow down your market, target your customer, and understand your customer. Being reachable maybe the second thing, and it is really hard to put into the right words, but really taking answers all the time resulting from the questions. It's not something that you can find easily, and which is very valuable, because you can't ask the people in any company, either the investors and maybe customers. You need to do your homework before going there, because you need to be ready, just as the preparation of the business eligibility statement and other process. And that is why Sisu Launchpad is one of the interesting preparation phase, going into the sauna. By the way, I recommend it.
You were there at the first one, I remember. Yes,
I did it. It is hard, but with the naked people, it's good.
Well, we do have swim trunks. We are not completely naked.
No, joking.
But yeah, I mean, thanks again. I think you pointed out something very, very important, right? I think the quality of support you are getting also then from our colleagues from the accelerator team, who would basically come then after you have been relocating and after we helped you, then we introduce you to them. They are all very qualified business people. They have been entrepreneurs. They have been working for huge corporates. So they really understand the ecosystem, and that's how they can help you in a very efficient, easy way for you to move forward.
Just one example, for example, we started to talk with the customer meetings and the interviews. When we go there, we started to saying that the business Helsinki advisor advised me to talk with you. It changed
everything.
Really changed. Because the ecosystem knows each other, so the players know each other and trust each other. And maybe the most important thing is that if you are saying that you are believe and you are confident that it is going to happen or true, you can be relaxed and just follow the procedure. You don't need to worry about, and just be being humble and approaching in attitude for the learning. Every promising startups can do it.
Absolutely. I think also Hanna touched upon it, right? Finland is not a big ecosystem. It's a small ecosystem, but as you rightfully mentioned, I think that comes with a lot of benefits in terms of getting to know the right people quickly, establishing trust quickly, and then going from there.
And one year observation, actually Helsinki metropolitan area as a whole is positioning itself as a hub for the northern side of the Europe. Actually, Helsinki could be a small city, but Baltics are here very close. Sweden, very close, and the other imagine that the UK has a bigger startup ecosystem, but they don't have Slush. Maybe only event that can be comparable, only Web Summit in Lisbon. That's all. Even the Amsterdam, there is no such a place, and it's a growing ecosystem too, especially for the deep tech, clean tech, and the green tech companies. Or the if you have a product touching to the intellectual property, or having in a sense being in a connection with the university related organization, or a hardware components systems as we have, and here is I recommend you in the right place in European Union.
Absolutely. And I think again you touched upon something very important, right? So you have the direct neighbors that are potential next markets for you. But you also have to consider that I don't know if you have experienced it yet, but Finland has a very good reputation, pretty much globally. So
actually, we experienced it.
You have already.
We completed one of the accelerator program after joining to the Business Helsinki Services startup bootcamp in Amsterdam. When we said that we are coming from Finland, our company based in Finland, and the customer insight that we collected, the investor meeting, and all kind of supportive documents and the insights and the ideas that we presented will be a vision, and will be understood a little bit different. because the Finland is known as a country not just trustworthy, but also has a huge credibility in terms of because they know that Finnish institutions is investigating in detail. If you complete this procedure, it is a proven version of your success, and you can copy it and complicate it. That is why for example, the tempo funding is very important from the Business Finland.
Yeah. Yes. Maybe the last question to stay in time. I presume that many of our guests, you might have families. So I think it's not only the business side you're considering moving to Finland, but also living in Finland. What are your thoughts on Finland as a country to live in? What's the quality of life in Finland?
This is my definition. Maybe my wife can tell the different story, but living in Finland just like this, living in a preserved, living in a preserved version of a natural, like a national park. The smell is very different, even in the winter. For example, the spring I like. It was very remarkable to getting sense like a different kind of flowers and all the time, because it is a small period of time you can enjoy the spring and the summer. But this year, actually, the 5 months.
This year was beautiful. It is good, I think.
But doing the right thing and being in a environment for the supportive with your friends and people care. Like maybe the people makes the country like maybe a bit better place.
Yeah.
You can see the preservation of the nature. You can see the behavior of the people, like attitude and the no damage, and you know that you are in safe, and you are no drawbacks and like a luggage in with you, and you can do whatever sports you do and enjoying all. To be honest, as one of the Turkish colleagues of you, and I need to admit that it is hard to get used to be honest, because as a Turkish people, we grown up like a challenging and all the time being in a surprise kind of environment all the time. Relocating here is very different. Like, people at the beginning, I was waiting to something happened all the time. Right now, I'm not, but it was hard at the beginning to get used to it, and I recommended please experience Finland before January, definitely before January, December. Sorry, before the jumping into the hard winter, because jumping into the -20 degree is not something that you are probably get familiar with. That is why you should be aware of it.
Burak, thank you so much.
It was long a bit, sorry.
No, but I think very interesting. I hope, and I'm sure very, very insightful for our listeners, and I'm sure there are plenty of questions. But I think there's still one more part on the agenda, so let's leave it for now at this.
Yeah. And they can reach out to me in the other questions on the LinkedIn.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Nice. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Burak and Johan, for this fireside chat. It's actually really enlightening for the startups as well, because I mean, we always consider and think these stuff, especially relocation, is a big thing. It's a big move. So it was really enlightening for the Finland itself and Finland ecosystem as well. So thanks a lot. So to move on with the Q&A session that we have, I will share this QR code with you guys. If you want to apply this program and get the chance to go Slush, win a ticket, and get the chance to join the program, please feel free to scan the QR code and you can apply directly from here. If you need further information, you can now ask in the Q&A section, which we will Now, host Katerina Eskelinen from Startups of Landing Specialist at Business Helsinki. Katerina, please feel free to open your camera and microphone. We will also welcome Johan again for the Q&A session, Hannah again for the Q&A session, and Joanna Selin from Embassy of Finland, joining as commercial consular at the Embassy of Finland. So please feel free to submit your questions throughout the chat. Now we will try to answer them as much as we can. So let me go to questions right now. What do we have? Yes, there is one question for Johan. Semi asks, can you please tell the name of the companies from Turkey? Maybe some of them, because I don't know if it's possible to tell all the countries that established in Finland right now, but maybe a few examples could be nice for the audience.
All right, yeah. Thanks for the question, Semi. So it might be difficult to tell you now all of them because we have quite a few clients. One right away sitting here next to us, Burak. We have a very interesting company. I forgot the name, but it's an interesting client. He used to be a fighter pilot for the Turkish army. And now he's also an engineer, and he actually developed a device that is measuring the heart rate of people. So he's now in the health sector. And there are many more. We have actually one of my clients. He used to be the former deputy mayor of Ankara. And he now actually just last week he received a positive eligibility statement. He participated at the previous Sisu Launchpad we had in May. Got really excited about Finland, and then we worked very intensively with him. And at last week he got the positive decision. So the plan is to move to Finland now within the next year. And what they are actually doing is I forgot the name. They're so creative with the names that it's difficult to remember. Was it ISO Blue or something? But basically what they do is they are using satellite information or images that are created by the minute by satellites, and they are using those to inform banks, insurances, energy companies, like kind of how the environment is changing, how you can predict certain weather forecasts and so on. So very, very successful, very good idea, and we are very excited to have him here. But in terms of maybe to reflect a bit on your question, I can't tell you now every single one, but I'm pretty confident that we have clients from many different sectors coming from Turkey. Yeah.
By the way, if I may say something to you, if you can look at the Sisu Launchpad LinkedIn post, probably you are gonna find out the last batch and the pictures and some information.
Might be, yeah.
People likes the post, and you can you can reach out there.
Good advice. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much, Johan, for the answer. So we have another one from Izzettin. So he says, you support companies on soft landing, which is grateful indeed. But my question about opening business account, especially for fintechs, Turkey was on the gray list. Therefore, still opening a business account is problematic subject for us. Do you support about that? That's a general question. I don't know, who would like to? I think Joanna.
Maybe I can start with it since we do have quite a few clients who have that issue indeed, that they have problems establishing company bank accounts. Usually establishing that big or usually not an issue, but you also have to always understand why that is the reason. And the reason is because our banks here, like every other bank in Europe, they are regulated by very strict European or rules that are guided by the European Union. And one big concern is money laundering. And if something would happen, the fines these banks would have to pay us so high, and that's why they are so super cautious. But there are ways to work around that, and that's how, again, we can't really lobby, or we try to lobby in that direction, but we can't change the world within 1 or 2 days. But we can help in different ways. So first of all, we can tell you what else to do. So if you are not able to get, let's say, a traditional company bank account right away, there are options like online banking, like Holvi or Revolut, and that's something I think Hanna can confirm, but we also checked that with Business Finland, and they are accepted if you are applying for public funding, so you're not losing any opportunities in that direction. So usually I recommend the clients go with those options first. If you have issues to establish right away a traditional company bank account, and then once you have generated the first lucrative businesses and you can show some traction, then you just try to apply again, and we can help you with recommendation letters. Yeah. But there's always a way you can find it, and we are indeed here to kind of help you to guide around those issues.
Any other answer from the panelists, if you want to?
Well, I think,
please.
I think Johan covered it really well. And the fact that you mentioned, Johan, that Holvi is also accepted by Business Finland, that is a fact. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So other question is, I mean, we also get that a lot, by the way. Is it necessary for both co-founders to move to live in Finland, or can they continue to operate the company without being physically present in Finland? What's the logic behind here?
Yes. Well, if we are talking about the team that wants to apply for the startup permit and then later on establish a company to Finland and to be able, for example, to apply for Business Finland funding, then the requirement is that the team, central team members and co-founders need to be committed to moving to Finland. So that is the basic requirement that we have. Yes.
Okay, then I think we can move on to next question, which we get like many right now. So the last question, what time to get an answer from Business Finland for their startup application for a startup permit? What's the process and timeline behind? I mean, Burak gave an example that he got his in 2 weeks, but is there a specific timeline for that one?
Well, I have to say that at the moment we are receiving actually a really high number of eligibility statement applications, and that is of course affecting the processing times. We will try to process the applications as soon as possible. And of course, if there are the startup teams, for example, who have been in these pre-accelerator programs or have been already in contact with the cities, that's usually also a positive sign for us. But I can say that, yes, there is quite a long queue at the moment, so it can take a couple of months at the moment to get an answer from our side. But this is something that we are all the time working with and trying to get more resources for that.
Still is a good time, by the way, like when we talk about the normal visa application processes. So it's still a good time for the startups as well. Okay, I guess we don't have any other questions, but if you want to add something, please go on for the closing round. In the meantime, if there is anyone else who would like to ask another question, please feel free, guys. But I mean, we can go to closing round right now. If you want to say a few words, maybe Joanna, Katerina, I don't know, please go on.
Yeah, thanks, Esengül. And so yes, it's Joanna here, Commercial Counsel at the Embassy of Finland in Ankara. And thanks for this very interesting session. Again, super excited about continuing the work between the Finnish and Turkish startup ecosystems and bringing a number of quality Turkish startups to experience Slush and hopefully give an opportunity to grow by using Finland as a new home, as a platform for global growth. So looking forward to seeing you at Slush and before that also at the event in Istanbul at the end of the month. So that's just what I wanted to add on my part.
Thank you.
Yes, same. Is your sound off? Okay, sorry. So yes, same from me. Hello to you, and I'm looking forward very much for the event we have at the end of September. So I will be coming to Istanbul to meet all of you talented founders. We can discuss potential cooperation, and of course, I will be eager to hear your business ideas and get to know you better. So if you have any questions, we can meet then and talk more.
Perfect then. Okay. Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot for dear panelists here who spoke about the event itself, who spoke about the Finland startup ecosystem, and for this exciting program. So today it was our first session for this program, but we will host a physical event as we said before. You will also get some invitations for this physical event as well. Before this event, if you would like to apply before the event, please feel free to fill out the form that we will also be sharing this as well as we shared in the screen as a QR code. Please fill out the form and we will be checking out the applications through this beautiful team. So thank you and have a good day, let's say. Hope to see you in our next events.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.